Hey, all right. Week 11, we don't have a ton of stuff to go through this week. So before we go through what you need to do this week, I want to do something real quick. We had exam 3 was last week. So after that point, not only on the calendar, but like as far as how points go, we are well over the halfway point right now. Okay. Now you've still got time to bring your grade up, but the math is kind of starting to catch up with us because half of your grade has already been written. So we've just got a few chances to bump it up. All right. If you're doing good, that's good news because that means you've only got a few chances to bump it down. And you know, if you're doing good so far, just keep doing what you're doing and you should be all right. So what I want everyone to do, just real quick, go to the My Grades section in Blackboard. And if you haven't looked at your average in a while, look and see what your average is right now. Okay. If your average is not where you need it to be, if you can send me a message and ask, I will be glad to calculate real quick. Like this is what you're going to have to make from here on out to finish with whatever letter grade you're shooting for. Okay, so let's say like you have to have C for this class to transfer wherever you're wanting to go. If you're not there yet, let's say you've got like a 67 or whatever, I can do the math real quick and let you know you're going to have to make a 70 whatever. I'm not going to do the math right now, and I don't want to give you a fake number because someone's going to take that seriously. But I can let you know what you have to make to finish with whatever grade you're shooting for. All right, and you can probably figure that out too, but just if you need help, let me know. All right, if you are failing right now, definitely reach out to me because like for sure that's not where you need to be, and I can let you know what's it going to take, or like if you've fallen too far behind where that's not even an option. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's better to know and kind of know what to expect. All right. All right, so we've got 2 more exams left, and then you've got several labs. So there's a bunch of points that are left. Good chances to bring your grade up or down. Like I said, the math just kind of starts to catch up with us at this point. So rather than just like wondering and saying, well, I don't know if I can make it or not, send me a message and I'll let you know. Okay. All right. So this week, see, last week we did the fungi lecture. This week we are going to move on to plants. We're going to start the plant section of the class. So we're going to do plant evolution and diversity part 1. We're going to talk about plants in general, and then we're going to start looking at the simpler plants. These are going to be things like mosses and ferns and things like that. So that's what we're going to cover in part 1. So watch that, take notes, and then you've got a review quiz due on Sunday, November the 7th. All right. The lab this week, so you've got a lab, but here's the good news. This is not a science interactive lab. This is not a lab that's going to be included in your lab kit. I like our lab kit a lot. Y'all probably disagree. But one of the downsides is that it doesn't include anything with fungi. And that's something that we cover. Like if you were taking this in a traditional class in person, we would have a fungi lab. So what I did, and I'm going to give you the quick version because I've got a video recorded that explains all this. But I took the lab that we do in person and I tried to make it as close to that as possible for you to do online at home. The only downside is in person, I would have like samples of fungi to pass around and you can look at. And here we're just going to use pictures for that. Okay. So what you need to do is go to the lab tab, just like normal. And then scroll down below, like where it says Science Interactive and all that. You're going to find a folder that says Lab 5, Fungi. Open that folder, and that's going to have everything you need to complete the lab. Now, before you start, though, I've got a video recorded. I know you probably get sick of these, but there's a video up top that says Video Walkthrough for Fungi Lab or something like that. And it's going to show you what to do. So there's a document that you're going to kind of read through. It's basically going to be a summary of what we talked about in the lectures, like an introduction on the other labs that we do. You're going to have a worksheet where you've got some review questions that you're going to answer. And then the big thing from this lab is going to be visual identification. So it's going to have a picture, a document with a bunch of pictures that you have to label. And I know you're not going to know these off the bat. So I've got a PowerPoint presentation that's going to have all the answers for you. I know that sounds simple and it might even sound like busy work a little bit. I hope it's not, because what that is it's just getting you to look at it in your head, say, okay, this is called a whatever type of mushroom. And then you've got to type it out on your own. And that's actually a pretty good way to learn those. It's not just reading it, it's reading it and then you let's say regurgitating. That's a gross word for that. But it's you relaying that information and typing it out on your worksheet. Okay, that video will explain that a lot better than I just tried to because I didn't want to have to make you sit through that twice. But go through that. If you have any questions, let me know. Just make sure you realize this is not a science interactive lab. The fungi lab is going to be in a folder in the lab tab underneath all that science interactive stuff. Okay? All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.